Alright, I want to take time here in order to try and share with you guys my Google Plus page before the whole process happens in April, May of 2019 with Google Plus and the whatever it is they're doing in order to shut down the Google Plus services for Google. This is my original homepage. This was the homepage that I had on Google before I went into YouTubing. And it's what everybody mainly knew me by before I had the moniker of Rodimus. I wanted to take some time in order to try and share with you guys a little piece of my history before I came to YouTube, because everything that I originally was doing before I went into YouTubing and became a gaming YouTuber, all of my earlier works is essentially right here on Google Plus's social media server. From the creation of my original playlistings and what you see here from Success of a Prime to Be, which was the original pieces of my story that I originally wrote years ago, and how I wanted to be the most powerful gamer in Maryland and use that talent and use my talents to make a difference for this world, which in a sense was also the fuel for my YouTubing. There's a little bit here that's a part of the Life Like It Did, where I give slices of life type of quotes and citations or pictures that inspire people when you look at them. Then there's the crowning piece of my Google Plus page, which was the Morpher Matrix encryption, which is the driving force of the my poems and a lot of the poems that I wrote on Google Plus for many years. For those curious, if you remember my YouTube playlistings that I brought onto my channel called the Morpher Matrix, it comes exactly from this. It derives exactly from this playlistings right here. I made this original playlistings on Google Plus about 5-6 years back in 2013, 2014, when I first joined on. And lastly, the other playlisting here is my pics of a different collection, which was a collection of Final Fantasy 14 pictures, because I was playing Final Fantasy 14 on a different media on another friend's account once upon a time. What I want to try to do for salvaging a lot of my work and my early works here before before Google Plus may take it down, what I want to try and do is I'm going to write out and recapture a lot of those poetry pieces that I made years ago throughout my playlistings. I'm going to transfer a lot of them to Facebook and share them with my friends on Facebook. And then I'm also going to slowly reconstruct them into video poems and put them in my YouTube playlistings for my actual live poetic pieces that I recite for my YouTube audience. I want to go through all this work in order to share with a lot of people a lot of the joy and the past joys I had in writing many of these poetry pieces through the years, and see if that it reignites that old interest that a lot of people had years ago first reading my works whenever they get home from school, or they get home from work, or they're finished dealing with their kids, the wife, the husband, whatever it is. And it just becomes something that you can casually sign on to Google and read, and it's something that you think on. The posts that I make were specifically poems that are meant to inspire people. I don't shitpost. I don't post crappy things. I always make it so when you tune in, when you're looking at something that I'm writing or that I'm reading off to you, it's something that you think about, and it's something that you take away, or at least can take away for that evening or that state of affairs when you read my piece. So when you tune into reading my pages and my pieces, it's something that can actually be a very good investment of about 1 minute, 2 minutes when you're reading it. I try to make it pretty memorable when I write my poem pieces, and here was where I got my start in doing a lot of writing and just sharing my thoughts with a lot of people here and Pinterest and sharing with a lot of it. Originally, a lot of people really didn't care or give a damn in reading poetry. Very few people bothered to know what it is or appreciate the work. But regardless of all that, I still took the time in order to sit there and write poem pieces after poem pieces out here on Google Plus in order to just share my thoughts with the world, even though I know a lot of people didn't care. And then slowly but surely there was the 1 or 2 people that did express their thoughts, and they thought that a lot of my poem pieces were really nice. And so I just kept doing it, because barring tens of hundreds of people on Google Plus that don't really bother to think a second thought about me, there was those occasional people, those one or two people that really did make a difference and felt like my work did make a difference in their thinking at that time and those days. And that's when I know it makes a difference. I just kept writing it. But anyway, I take the time to share all this stuff with you guys because I want to recapture the moment that I had all those years ago when I was first creating these poem pieces on Google's social media, and share these with you on Facebook and YouTube, and share with you guys what it is I shared with this community years ago, long before I became Rodimus Prime, where it was just Dion and just a poet looking to just have his voice heard in this world, or at the very least take a little bit of weight off another person's shoulders for 1 or 2 minutes of an afternoon or an evening. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned in order to see when and how my poem pieces come to pass. Thanks. You guys out there listening makes all of this worth it in the end game, and I appreciate it from all of you out there.